It's an all-new episode of The Good Stuff, and we're making dinner a true joy with Mary's warm and cozy cheesy baked gnocchi. Then, dig into a spread of bread. From pull-apart to tempura and everything in between, Matthew James Duffy will change the way you look at this comfort staple. And to kick off tonight's brand new season of MasterChef Canada, Craig Wong shows you how to be a real MasterChef in the kitchen. Plus, Jason Lupo reveals the simple tools to step up your kit and tackle easy projects around the home. And personalize your space with Leanne Allaire-Perot's guide to discovering your own unique style. It all starts right now.
We are kicking things off in the kitchen with a perennial fave. Listen, we all love a good mac and cheese, am I right? Yeah. 100%. But I thought I'd switch things up a little bit and swap out that classic elbow macaroni for a little potatoey gnocchi situation. How does that sound? Honestly, I'm very excited about this. I love a potato in any form, so if I can get potatoes into mac and cheese, I'm gonna do it. I'm calling this recipe my cheesy baked gnocchi. It's super simple. It comes together really, really beautifully. And I'm gonna get to work on it by starting on the sauce, because the gnocchi actually cooks really quickly. So I've got a pan here over about medium-ish heat, and into there, we're gonna cook down some cream. Now, you want a cup of cream, and I'm gonna ask you to bust out the whipping cream for this recipe. Because whipping cream, yes, it has a higher fat percentage, but it's also really thick to start with. So it cooks down really, really quickly, and you actually don't have to cook it down as much. If you were using another type of cream, you'd have to use more cream, and then you'd cook it down basically to the same amount, so you're kind of getting the same fat percentage anyways. It kind of makes sense. Don't Google it, because it might actually not. But it makes sense in my brain. All right, that cream is doing its thing. It's already simmering, looking absolutely beautiful. So we want to give it a little bit of flavor. Typically when you're making a mac and cheese, you make a roux, which is a fat and flour mixture that you cook off a little bit, and then you add in your milk to thicken. But I didn't want to do that in this, because the gnocchi has so much more kind of starch that readily releases from that potato. This thickens up really, really quickly. So we're just going to add our ingredients straight into this cream and leave the flour out. So I'm going to go in with a clove or two of garlic. I'm currently getting a cream facial, which is an absolute delight. It literally feels like my hair is about to be very large, but it's gonna be a good thing. So I'm gonna go in with a clove or two. I'm gonna go with 2 cloves because I'm feeling a little bit punchy today. But I like to rasp it right on into the pan because I personally hate chopping garlic. If you are someone who likes one of those mashers, that would work absolutely beautifully as well. So that's looking good. I'm gonna go in as well with a little bit of Dijon mustard. This is gonna cut through the richness of that cream. I want about 1.5 teaspoons of that. I'm using smooth Dijon. If you only had grainy Dijon, that would be beautiful. You get little pops in there. Smooth kind of melts in really nicely though. So you don't really see it, you just get that little flavor kick. Super, super tasty. Season that up with salt, a little bit of pepper as well. And here, if you wanted to, you could add any other flavor you wanted to. If you want a little Italian seasoning in here, that would be beautiful. But for me, anytime I'm doing a cream sauce, I like a little something that I call pocket nutmeg. I have never been caught without a nutmeg, truly. I have unintentionally brought a nutmeg over the border in my purse, because I always have a nutmeg on hand. What if there is an eggnog emergency? Or, oh, goodness. Don't worry, this is gonna be real nutmeggy. It's all good. Still gonna grate that in. Nutmeg is really, really beautiful. I always say that it kind of tastes like an old-fashioned donut, but it doesn't in a savory recipe. In a sweet recipe, it gives you kind of that old-fashioned donut flavor, but in a savory recipe, it gives you a little bit of lemoniness, a little bit of warmth, and it just rounds everything out really beautifully. So I'm gonna give that a whisk, and as you can see, this cream is blippy. It is already thickened up. It starts to turn a little bit more yellow, because that's the fat, that butter fat in there cooking away. So that is looking absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna turn the heat down. Now I've got a pot of some boiling water here as well, and I am going to make my gnocchi. So when you're buying your gnocchi, you don't want to buy the one in the fresh section where you get like tortellini and stuff like that. You actually want to buy the one that comes in that vac sealed pack near where you find like pasta, just regular pasta aisle where the sauce is. They're a little bit hard, but these are really, really beautiful. They cook up, they maintain that chewiness. If you were to use a fresh gnocchi in here, because you'd be cooking it in this sauce after in the oven, it tends to overcook and break down a little too much. This will hold its shape. So I'm going to season that water with a good amount of salt, because that's a good amount of water. 1, 2, I'm gonna do probably 4, so hold on to your pants. We got this. Season it really nicely, because a little bit of that's gonna go in here to also season that sauce. I'm gonna add the gnocchi in and let it start doing its thing. Now, since we are going to be adding this into the oven as well, you only wanna cook that until it's about al dente. It should take about 2 minutes or so I'm gonna let that do its thing. While that's doing its thing, we're gonna attack cheese. Now you could do any cheese you want. I wanted this to kind of taste like a mac and cheese though, so I'm just using some old cheddar cheese, just white cheddar because I like the color better, kind of mimics the color of the sauce really beautifully. If you had yellow or orange cheddar, that would work well too. To me, it gives a bit too much of like a pale color to the sauce though. This would also be nice though with Gruyere, that would give you a little fanciness. A little bit of Parmesan in there would be great. If you did something like a mozzarella, it would give you a really nice stringy sauce, but you wouldn't get a ton of flavor. So if you were doing something like a mozzarella, I would also add something like a Parmesan or a Pecorino just to punch that up a little bit. You want about 1.5 cups of grated cheese. And as you can see, I'm kind of trying to kill time so that gnocchi can cook, because I don't like grating cheese. Fun fact. I oftentimes, if I'm grating cheese in the kitchen, I am using my food processor. But listen, sometimes we got to do things that we don't love doing in the kitchen. Am I right? You know? You know? Okay, we are good to go. That looks about 1.5 cups. Beautiful, beautiful. And then in addition, because so far this recipe is 100% beige. Like there is no color going on in here. I'm not mad about that, but it is gonna be good. I'm also gonna add in some spinach. Now you could add in any sort of dark leafy green. If you had kale, you could add that in as well. I would boil it actually with the gnocchi though, so it tenderizes a little bit. I'm using baby spinach because it cooks down the quickest. But if you wanted to, you could also use field spinach or cooking spinach. Takes a little bit longer to cook down, but it holds up really nicely. Now you can look over here. This sauce, I've maybe taken it a little far, but what's happening in this pan is actually really cool. A lot of those milk solids are starting to kind of caramelize and almost give this cream a brown butter flavor. So it's kind of seizing up, but that is going to taste absolutely beautiful. So into that pan, I'm gonna go in with my spinach. Just a couple handfuls, however much you feel like eating that day. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of this pasta water. As it's cooking, as you can see, it's gotten a little bit murky, and that's all that starch from the gnocchi coming out to bring everything together. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that water in, just to thin things out. Then I'm gonna go in with about 1/2 cup of this cheese. This is where we're getting kind of into the mac and cheese territory. So add that right on in. Give that a stir to combine. This is so far gonna look like not quite enough sauce, but as we add that gnocchi and a little bit of that pasta cooking liquid, it's gonna come together. Okay, so I have got a slotted spoon here. The gnocchi is doing its thing. Honestly, right now, I would say this is cooked beautifully for this sauce. It's still a little bit chewy, so I'm just gonna transfer that right on into that pan with the sauce. See why I added the green though? Otherwise, this would be the beigest dinner you've ever had. Which, to be honest, sometimes is exactly what I want. You know when you've had one of those days and you're like, I just want it in a bowl and I just want it to taste like potatoes and cheese? So if you're having one of those days, I give you permission to leave out that spinach. But if you are not and you want some more flavor, feel free to add in some fresh herbs. That would be beautiful as well. I'm gonna give that a stir just to combine. And as you can see, all that sauce, that little bit of cheesy sauce is coating everything. Now, to just bring this over the edge and make this extra delicious, I'm gonna add the rest of that cheese all over the top of this. This is gonna give you a real nice layer. Then I'm gonna take this and pop it under the broiler for just about 2 to 3 minutes. That's gonna give you a lovely golden brown top, a little bit of a cheesy pull. It's gonna cook that gnocchi completely, and you're gonna end up with something that looks like this. Look at that absolute stone cold stunner. Pop that on the table, absolutely nobody is complaining. I'm gonna dig in, you've got that spinach, that golden brown, that creamy sauce. Ooh. We gotta take a break, this is gonna be hot, but I'm gonna eat it, so stick around, we'll be right back.
Tomorrow, it's an all-new episode of The Good Stuff. Lynn Crawford kicks off a crisp fall morning with a cozy, apple-licious brunch.
Are we excited?
We sure are.
We're talking fluffy pancakes, a hearty breakfast hash, and even the perfect toast.
Cheers to you all.
Then, Alexis Hans has easy wardrobe hacks that'll take any outfit from drab to fab in minutes. Plus, don't tell Alexis, but Megan Arthurs is here with a big surprise that's guaranteed to transform her daily routine. That's tomorrow on an all-new episode.
Big design dreams for your home, but don't know where to start? Leanne Allaire-Perot is here to help you turn on your style GPS. Ooh, this is so fun, eh, Leanne?
This is gonna be a lot of fun, Mary.
Okay, first off, what is a style GPS?
Okay, well, we think about GPS in a car, it's a system.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna help you figure out what your coordinates are to get you to your design destination. You wouldn't book a trip without knowing where you're going, because like what clothes do you pack, right?
True.
You need to have a vision of where you're headed to be able to plan. And I find so many people, when they're attempting a design project at the very beginning, it becomes overwhelming. And the question is, where do I begin?
Totally.
You need your coordinates to know where you're headed.
See, this is good. I think you and I are the same type of person. You know, sometimes on like a TV show where someone plans like a trip and they don't know where, like, they're going to take their partner.
Anxiety
and they don't. I was like, that sounds horrible.
I could never.
I don't want a surprise trip.
No surprises in this situation, especially when we're investing a lot of money into our homes.
And time.
Right, we don't want to be surprised by hating it.
Yes.
That's the worst surprise at the end.
1,000%.
So this is a really, I can't stress enough how simple this method is, but we're going to have some fun because you're going to play a little game with me to show how this method works. This is my style GPS method to help you hone in and figure out your North Star for design. And that North Star starts with picking 3 simple adjectives.
Okay.
So I always start, everybody always wants to start with paint colors, especially when I'm working with clients.
That is very
Everybody
true.
wants to talk about, oh, what color are we gonna paint the wall?
Yeah.
Truthfully, the wall color should be the last thing you pick.
Really?
Because that should be what ties the entire space together, brings everything together at the end.
Okay.
But doesn't mean we can't start thinking about color early on. But what I want you to think about first is adjectives to set the mood for the space.
Okay.
I always do this with clients. In fact, I brought an example of a style board that I created for a client project, and you'll notice
beautiful.
there's 3 adjectives on there. Lived in, timeless, inviting, right? That really sets the tone and helps the homeowner and myself, guiding the homeowner, hone in on what those words mean in terms of how she wants the space to feel. So from that, I have the after of what that was translated into.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And you can see all of those words come together through the colors, the patterns, the textures, even the shapes in the furniture.
Totally.
Now, here's the thing, Mary. There are no wrong answers.
Okay, this is good, because I was like, I was feeling a test coming on.
No!
And I was like getting that school dream that I have every once in a while. Yeah.
You wake up in a cold sweat. I've had
like,
that.
oh my gosh, I failed kindergarten. They're going to take everything away.
Everybody's destination is going to be different in terms of their design journey, which means your coordinates are going to be different. Now, here's the other thing that makes this even less intimidating. You don't have to commit to 3 adjectives for your home. We're talking space by space, because based on the function of the space, you may want your bedroom to feel more serene and casual and romantic, versus your family room, you might want more lively, bold, and energetic.
Okay, cool.
So having those 3 words really kicks things off. I want you
we're going to build my style board.
Your 3 words so we can build your style board.
This is the test.
Yes.
Okay.
The test with no mark. You've already passed. You've already passed.
Thank you very much. I was like, no mark is even worse. Yeah. I was like, all right, I think I'm going to go.
Like, let's think we're going to redo your living room, for example.
Colorful.
Okay, that feels fitting for you.
Eclectic.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And I think cozy.
Okay.
Living room. You want us to be cozy, right?
Right.
Yeah. This feels like me. Also, this font feels like me.
Okay. Can I share just a little personal tidbit?
Yeah.
I hate the word eclectic.
Oh, no!
I know I said this wasn't a test, but like in my world, you may have just failed.
No!
Okay. But here, let me explain why. For me, eclectic, when I ask somebody what their style is and they say eclectic, to me, all I hear is, I don't know what my style
Got
is.
it.
Because it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yes.
This is why 3 words is so important.
Got it. This is like the miscellaneous drawer. This is the junk drawer of words.
But you know what? Now that we have cozy and colorful, eclectic makes perfect sense in that mix. We can start to, again, drive towards the end destination with our design. So I'm going to let you have eclectic.
Thank you very much.
We're going to pass with this. And I do think that it is very fitting, and I think we can come up with an incredible style board.
Okay.
So, from the words, I think then we can start to think about color, not paint color, not wall color. I want you to think what those words make you feel in terms of a color. How does the color bring out that feeling of coziness, of something obviously colorful, we're kind of easy there, but eclectic. And so this could be not just the color itself, but color combinations as well. So if there's 1, 2, 3 colors that kind of speak to you, let's bring that over to your board.
Okay, I'm starting with a wild card, but this one says cozy to me.
Okay, and I love that.
Yeah.
Cozy.
Okay.
And it's a very kind of like, it feels like a hug, right?
It feels like a hug. It feels like I'm going to read a book there.
And it's not, that's not a neutral. I would call that a neutral because it's a nice deep color, but it has a color in there, right? And a bit of a hue with the green.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. I'm also going this one because it makes me happy.
I had kind of a feeling.
Yeah.
I've seen your front door. I believe you do have a yellow front door.
I do. I love a yellow. I feel like that's a colorful.
Yes, I love that.
Okay.
And anything else that jumps out at you?
Honestly, I love this one and this one. Which one should I choose? Okay. Oh, okay, cool. I thought I was only allowed 3.
No.
No
Again,
rules.
there's no rules.
Okay.
So we're gonna build those right in there. Now, I then want you to think about patterns. Now, obviously, like I'm bringing you limited, there's tons of options out there. I'm bringing you some limited options here.
Okay.
But you can look at each of these patterns and apply adjectives to them. So are there any that jump out at you that you would say are colorful, eclectic, and cozy?
This is not colorful, but it is eclectic and cozy. Super cozy.
Yes, the sweater,
Love.
yes.
And then I'm going to say, I think it's either one of these two.
Well, I think we picked both.
Oh, yes!
Yes. Because again,
I love this test.
Because we don't have to be super literal, but already I'm loving the direction.
This feels like a thing.
I feel like this is gorgeous, right?
This is the best segment.
And then you can even start to really hone in on different metallic finishes and different textures as well. So there's smooth finishes, there's some that are a little more subtle, fur. So what to you, does anything here speak? Let's talk about metallics first. What metallic to you is colorful, eclectic, and cozy?
I like this one.
Bronze,
Yeah.
okay. I do love some bronze. Let's bring that over. And are there any other textures that
I love
the
sisal.
Okay, that's very to me, this is very cozy,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
That hand-woven kind of feel. So we bring that over to the board. Now,
I love this house.
this is, it feels very much like Mary's house.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So now you're going out to the store and you want to buy some decor and maybe you're shopping for furniture. And this is where the words start to come into play so importantly. Because not only will this help drive you towards what you should buy to fit the vibe that you really want for your space, this will help you to avoid impulse purchases. You know, when you see that lamp that's really inexpensive and you're like, it's only $20,
Yes.
and then you bring it home and you're like, it doesn't work in my
This is me
space
every
at
time I go to that
all.
one store that has new lamps every day.
Right? So now when you go and you see those lamps, you go, is that lamp cozy, eclectic, and colorful? And if it's not, don't buy it for the space,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So I did bring some lamp examples here. So this works for any decor. Is there anything that jumps out?
So my knee jerk, which is the impulse buy that I would do, is 100% this one.
Okay, this was also a test because I felt like this would be a Mary lamp.
I am obsessed.
Yes, okay.
But I don't know if that's living room. That could be like office. I think it's this one.
Okay, I love that you
it, 'cause
chose
it's a little old, like it's a little classic, but it's a little, that's eclectic.
It's eclectic.
That's eclectic.
But also we start to look at shapes and like the folds in the shade feel like have this coziness to it as well. And it is eclectic and for sure you hit colorful. And now furnishings. I brought some examples of some chairs here and I wanted to know if anything jumps out at you in terms of the chairs.
So in terms of like who I want to be, I want to be this person, but I think I'm more this person.
Okay, so let's just look at these two.
Okay.
This one is a little bit more sleek. It does look comfortable, but sleek modern. I wouldn't call it cozy. Like you're not gonna sling your leg over the
That's who I
hardwood
want
chair.
to be, but I'm not her.
But this one looks very Mary cozy with a cup of tea and a book. So I think we can add this over to the board.
I also would sit in it with my leg flung over the side.
Yes, exactly. And I think you've nailed it in terms of a style direction of summer to start.
Leanne, you know me, I loved school. I feel really successful right now.
This is like a real life Pinterest board that anyone can do. You can go home and do this and walk around your rooms in those rooms that don't feel finished. Go, what are my adjectives? What am I missing? And you're probably missing that little bit of mood in your space.
Leanne, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My mind is blown.
I love it.
Leanne, everyone, a wizard. We gotta take a break. We'll be right back. That was so good.
Coming up, time for a toolkit refresh. Jason Lupo reveals the must-have tools to get simple projects done easy. Stay tuned.
Contractor Jason Lupo is here with the Toolbox upgrades you need to make every project easier, faster, and more profesh. Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Good, Mary. Nice to see you. Good to be back.
Oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled that you're here. First off, little confession, I do not have a toolbox. I just have like a drawer.
That hurts my heart.
Okay.
After this, maybe we'll get you a toolbox. How
Okay,
about
that sounds good.
And we'll fill it up with some new tools.
I'm very excited to learn all of this stuff that we're doing. Okay, so first off, let's get right into it.
Yep.
What are we getting to work on?
We're getting to levels, bubble levels, stick levels. You want to hang a picture, a towel bar in your house.
Yeah.
First thing you got to do is find the level for that picture.
Yeah.
You're going to pick out one of these big ones or one of these little guys.
Yeah, the
You're
little
gonna,
one looks like what I got.
You're going to hold it up on the wall. You're going to try to see the bubble. Is it good? Is it straight? I don't know.
It takes forever to get that bubble in the spot where you want it.
It's terrible,
Yeah.
right? And you need 2 hands or 2 people to do it. We're going to throw this out for now.
Okay.
And we're going to get a laser level.
Oh, okay.
Now, these have come down a lot in price.
Yeah.
You can get them for like $100 now or even less.
Yeah.
You can put it down and it automatically levels vertically and horizontally.
Oh, cool.
Now, does this help if you want to hang a picture down here?
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
What they come now with is a magnet on the back.
Oh,
so
okay.
inside your room, you might have a corner bead on the edge of the drywall, an outside corner, which is metal.
Okay.
So you can actually just stick this up on the wall.
Oh.
Exactly where you want your picture.
Okay.
And now you have level right away exactly where you want.
Wait, so what the corner thing is that this is metal?
Yeah, this is an outside corner, and to keep it strong, like you come by, you're gonna bump it or hit it, they're normally metal.
Oh,
So this
okay.
will stick to it right away,
Very
won't
cool.
scratch your walls, and give you the exact line of what you want.
Oh, fantastic. I love
Yes.
that. Okay, cool.
So you can hang up a picture.
Okay.
No problem at all. Do you wanna hang up the picture?
yeah, I do. You're gonna give me a hammer?
Oh, maybe not. You don't have a toolbox, so
I got this. Okay, cool. Like about
anywhere
here.
you want. And then we can adjust the laser afterwards to wherever you wanna go.
Okay, let's go here.
Bang, 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 bang.
Not our first rodeo, everybody.
Right next to the nutmeg?
Yeah, exactly. My nutmeg and hammer pocket.
So you can just adjust that laser down and see right away, are we level? No, we're not.
Okay.
So you can move it up to that line and then bang, you're good to go.
Oh, that's so great. I love that. Also, if you are ever someone who is going to attempt to hang wallpaper, I can assume that is very, very handy as well.
Extremely handy
Yeah.
for a lot of different things, not just pictures.
Okay.
Gallery walls, wallpaper, hanging up curtain rods, anything.
That's super smart. My gallery wall used an upsetting amount of math.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely a good thing. All right, next up, we're going to talk about using measuring tapes, but you have an option.
Yes, so you talked about math, right? So everyone's got a measuring tape. Some people carry them around in their purse.
Yes, yeah.
Does everyone know how to read a measuring tape? You
Yeah.
got all these ticks, imperial, metric,
Yeah.
37 and a half or plus a 16th.
Oh, gosh.
You as a baker maybe can handle it.
Yeah.
Most of us cannot, right? And have you ever extended the tape off and then all of a sudden
It does that.
Oh,
And
it's
it's
so
a nightmare,
frustrating.
yes. And this also, scariest part.
Yes.
When it comes back in at you.
A lot of power.
Yeah.
So we have a laser distance measure.
Okay.
So this you can turn it on. So lasers have been the theme so far.
Yeah, right.
And you can hold it to wherever you want to go, show you on the wall, push the button, and all of a sudden, 4'1" and 13/16.
Whoa.
You can read it out right away. You can see it clearly.
Yeah.
You can tell someone right away without messing it up.
Okay, that's fantastic. And does this just do like distance and stuff?
No, you can do the actual perimeter of a room
whoa.
or volume, and it'll do area. It does so many different things.
Okay.
The more expensive you go, the more features. It can hook up to your phone,
Yeah.
and you can actually create floor plans.
Oh, very cool. Or just measure the size of your cake pan.
Yeah.
If you really need to.
That works too.
That's always a good thing. Okay, you're convincing me. Lasers are the thing.
Yes.
But moving away from lasers, what are we going for next?
So, stud finders.
Okay.
You want to hang something on the wall that's a little bit heavier. You want to nail into a stud,
Yeah.
right? What does everybody do?
Yeah. This
does
always
that
looks
mean?
like witchcraft to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this doesn't do.
It kind of works.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So we have a stud finder here. And this stud finder, you put on the wall.
It was going off.
Yeah, well, it's because I picked it
Yeah,
up.
exactly. Yeah.
It'll collaborate to the wall itself
Okay.
and start to measure the densities. And when it picks up a different density, it'll start to beep of where you are,
okay.
and then you can find that stud.
Okay.
Now, sometimes with pipes or electrical cords or anything like that, it kind of sets it off. So sometimes you can have a mistake.
Okay.
So my tried and true method, we're gonna pull this off for now.
Perfect.
Is a strong magnet.
Okay.
So when you hang drywall, use screws or nails to hang that drywall.
Oh.
This magnet will pick it up.
Okay.
So if you run it around, you can find, oh, there you go.
What?
And there's your stud.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
We went from very high tech to very low tech.
Sometimes the low-tech ones are the good ones, right?
Yeah.
And you can measure off to find your next stud. Studs are usually 16 inches apart.
Okay.
And then you can bring this one over.
Oh, wow.
It's there too.
That's fantastic.
Very easy.
Everybody needs a stud buddy.
Oh, yeah. I'm the stud
There you
buddy.
go. Okay, Jason, finally, this is one that I'm like, okay, we're talking screwdrivers.
Yes.
This is something I definitely do have.
Everybody's got a
Everybody's
screwdriver.
got a screwdriver.
It's tried and true.
Yeah.
It's been around forever. There's no real advances. This is not necessarily a need for anybody, but it's a good want.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
So in your room, you got a ton of electrical covers. You want to change them, do something different. You're going to sit there with a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to do every single one, and your wrist is going to get tired and achy, and you're going to slide around. So we have an electric screwdriver.
Oh, so it's kind of like a mini drill?
Yeah, drills are too much power. You're
Got
never
it.
going to put a drill on a screwless plate like this. You're going to use this. It has a couple different settings, so you can go, and with the push of a button, it'll spin forward or reverse.
Okay.
And have a fancy light, so you can do it in the dark.
Always good, just in case you're changing, because you're changing your lights.
Exactly.
So they're off. Yeah.
So we have a couple samples here. Would you like to challenge me to a race?
I would love to challenge you to a race. I'm going old school.
Okay.
I will point out, I am at a disadvantage here, Jason.
That was not done on purpose.
I have. Okay, audience, I'm gonna get in position. Do you want to count us in 3, 2, 1, go! I got one. This is taking too long. No! Listen, I got 3. That's pretty good. Jason, this was a hoot and a half. Moral of the story, everybody. Lasers, magnets, and fancy screwdrivers. What an absolute delight.
And a toolbox.
And a toolbox. I will go out and get that. You know, I have one for baking, but I don't have one for tools. Jason, thank you so much. This was absolutely wonderful. We gotta take a quick break, and we'll be right back. That was awesome. Seasoned bread maker or just looking to start out, this book is for you. Here with recipes from his new cookbook, Bread, Etc. Please welcome expert bread baker, professor and chef Matthew James Duffy. Matthew James Duffy. Okay, first off, huge congratulations on this absolutely beautiful book. It is like an encyclopedia of bread.
Thank you so much. This was years in the making.
Truly, I can't even imagine. Speaking of things that were years in the making, look at all of this bread that Matthew brought. Can we talk about all of this?
Of course, yeah.
When
Where do
did
we
you
start?
make this?
So most of this was baked yesterday afternoon into the evening, a little bit into the early morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it has to be fresh. It has to be fresh. There's nothing added to it.
Yeah.
So you can't do it in advance. It's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Now, how many different varieties do you know that we have here?
Yeah, good question. So we've got baguettes. There's some decorative baguettes, which is the same dough, the seeded one. Focaccia. There is a classic sourdough here. There's some challah here. And then on this side, there is a chocolate, sour cherry, white chocolate, and roasted walnut sourdough.
I am sorry. This is my dream. Am I dreaming? I feel like I'm dreaming.
You can even see, it's so good, I even got the chocolate on my apron. Yeah.
I love it. We're doing it for real. Okay, so I am honestly so pumped about this book. You've got all kinds of recipes and techniques in here for baking bread, whether you are a novice or someone who's done it before. There's sourdough, other yeasted doughs, pizza dough, even leftover bread recipes. So what is about writing that?
So there's a couple reasons. One is I wanted to give people a way to reduce waste.
Yeah.
If you really want to learn how to bake bread, you have to bake a lot of bread. So all the recipes are for 2 loaves, which helps you build fundamental skills, technique, and go through it. And then maybe you don't have leftover bread, maybe you do. And that way you can kind of get creative outside of, nothing wrong with toast, but outside of just a plain toast.
Oh, like a panzanella, things like that. Yeah, beautiful.
Panzanella, we've got this beautiful pull-apart bread here, which is party bread, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And then we have a whole section with discard, which I know we're going to talk about in a minute.
Okay, fantastic. Now I read that for bread baking, this actually started as a job for you.
Yep.
Then it went into a hobby that turned into a passion. That's kind of opposite of a lot of people, I feel like.
Yeah, so I was working in a restaurant. The chef was in an obsessive bread baking phase.
Yeah.
And that kind of pulled me in.
Yeah.
And then I saw it as a way to kind of level up in the kitchen, get maybe a few dollars more an hour, get a bit better shifts. And it really just turned into a snowball obsession. And now I bake bread all day, and I live in a bakery. So yeah, kind of just I don't actually know how it happened. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I love it. Okay, let's kick this off because we've got a few recipes from the book here. Starting off with what you said was the party bread. So what do we have going on here?
So this is a pull-apart bread. This is best made with stale or a few-day-old bread.
Okay.
It's stuffed with roasted garlic oil, bacon, scallions.
Oh my gosh.
And in the book, the recipe's with cheddar cheese, but I kicked up a bit here. We put in some vacherin, comté, and a few things just to give you a little special bread for the day.
I was gonna say we got a little fancy here.
But the best part is you can really customize this. If you didn't want bacon, you can leave that off.
Yeah.
If you wanted cilantro and like different flavors, you could do that as well.
Very cool. Now, I know that this loaf as is would absolutely win any party, but I know you have something else that we want to add onto it.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are we doing?
So we're gonna make a ranch dressing.
Okay.
I've got some Greek yogurt and some sour cream.
Beautiful.
And then we've got a little bit of buttermilk, and we're just gonna mix this all together. And then I like to spoon it right over. There's some fresh dill.
Beautiful.
Some onion powder.
Yeah, love.
A little bit of lemon juice. A little pinch of salt.
Beautiful.
And then here, you can whisk that together for me, and I'll give you a little bit of buttermilk.
I love the fact that we have buttermilk in here. I love a buttermilk ranch.
And I try to make it depends on the yogurt you're using. So if you have thick yogurt, you try to make it so you can spoon it over the bread or dip it in the bread. But if you want, you can take that and just drizzle it all over.
Shall I drizzle? I feel like I shall drizzle.
And the amount you put is up to you.
Oh my gosh, get absolutely out of here. This is my dream. You don't know this, Matthew, but I love a sauce. So I am absolutely, okay, I'm gonna dig in.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
It should be good enough that you can just pull off a chunk.
Oh my gosh.
And there's like, it's kind of sliced in diamonds, so you can pull the middle out. You can go for the crispy ends if you want.
I'm a crispy girl. That is out of control.
Awesome.
The cheese in there, the ranch is out of control, and the bread, I mean, we can't forget the bread. That is absolutely beautiful sourdough.
And the ranch gives it the saucy element, or it's nice and moist. It's very good. Yeah.
I was going to say, perfect for football season if you're looking for a recipe.
Yeah. Perfect for party, perfect for football season.
Definitely.
Put it out on the table, people can grab at it.
So if you're making sourdough, something that I feel like maybe some people know, especially from that phase where everybody was kind of trying their hand at it, we've got something called discard. What is discard?
Sure, so this is a jar of sourdough discard. Basically, when you're going through the process, you are feeding a living culture. So we're gonna remove a little bit of this, mix it with flour and water, and that becomes the new culture. If you manage it properly, you can get it down, but usually in the beginning phases, you end up with something like this.
A good amount of that discard.
Yeah, and it typically goes in the compost or in the recycling. And so I put a lot of recipes to use this, but I tried to make recipes that actually benefit from adding the discard. So,
got it.
You know, like a cookie that gets a little bit better texture because the flour is pre-fermented, it's easier to digest, it's got some acidity. Or like we have here, these are tempura shrimp.
Can you even, look at this. This is made with sourdough discard. That looks so beautiful.
Yeah, and you don't have to do shrimp, you could do vegetable, like you could do zucchini batter, mushrooms, really whatever you want.
Okay, fantastic.
It's just meant to be a light, crisp coating on the outside. The acidity holds super well, and then of course it tastes awesome.
Amazing.
So to make this, we've got a little bit of all-purpose flour. This is cornstarch.
Oh, for that crispiness.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We've got some sourdough discard here.
Oh, yeah.
And now, depending on how old your discard is, when this sits in the fridge, it can get really liquidy or runny. So we'll put this until we have about a crepe batter consistency. And if you don't mind, can you just throw me a pinch of salt in there?
Of course. A little pinch of salt as well.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Always. If you wanted, you could put some spices in here, or you could switch it up a bit. So I'll put a little bit, whisk that in. The other key is this is sparkling water, and you want cold. The colder, the better.
That's how it gives you that beautiful crisp anytime you're making a tempura. But I love the fact that we're adding in that discard, because this is almost going to give it that fermented, almost beer batter flavor.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You actually could use beer for this instead of the sparkling water if you wanted to have like the double.
Double up?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
But that's
this
let's go a
little bit more.
A little more. And it depends on what you're going for. So I like a really super thin, crispy outer layer.
Yeah.
If you wanted the classic beer batter, you could just leave it a bit thicker and you can kind of adjust it for your liking.
Fantastic. Well, know what I like? Shrimp. I'm gonna take a bite of this. Oh my gosh, that crispy. These are the biggest shrimp I've ever seen. I'm so excited.
If you want, there's a little ponzu aioli for it as well.
You should get into that. You should get into that. That is out of control delicious. Oh my gosh, Matthew, this is out of control. Okay, now that I've had my shrimp fill, I'm gonna eat this later. We've got a little bit of dessert as well, some sweetbreads, which is absolutely beautiful. This almost looks like a galette, but it's actually a bread-based dough.
Yeah, so this is made with brioche dough. One of the goals of the book was to simplify the process for home bakers.
Yeah.
So rather than have 50 different doughs, which there actually is more than 50 doughs, the brioche dough, there's I think 5 or 6 different recipes made from brioche. So you can make your classic bun, you can make a loaf, but this is just a tart, and then inside we've got pastry cream, a little bit of blackberry jam that I made, and then on top, in the book it's pears, but I have 2 little girls and they wanted apples because we went apple picking.
Oh my gosh, what are their names?
Juniper and Frankie.
Juniper and Frankie, nice job. Oh, look at them. Oh my gosh, they're so sweet.
So yeah, it's poached apple, but again, you could change this seasonally. You could do
peaches.
Peaches would be lovely, and whatever you really want. And then on the outside, there's a little streusel. When it comes out of the oven, I like to brush it with the poaching liquid from the apples and get that extra flavor in there.
I mean, ending with dessert is always a good thing. Chef Matt, thank you so much for giving us a small taste of what this amazing book has to offer. And studio audience, thanks to Chef Matt, you're all getting a copy of his new book, Bread, Etc. We gotta take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Up next, ahead of tonight's season premiere of MasterChef Canada, Craig Wong gets you looking like a true MasterChef with his steak Diane. That's coming up.
Showing us how to feel like a MasterChef at home. Who better than my fellow Season 8 MasterChef Canada judge, Craig Wong? The best ever. Y'all, we had way too much fun on that set. Listen, a new season of MasterChef Canada kicks off with a special premiere tonight. Are we excited? Yes. I know we definitely are. Now, Craig, what is it that makes you special as a judge?
You know, I think it's about understanding what is actually going on with the dish.
Yeah.
And it's more about understanding the foundation and like taking that commitment and really delving into it and into the mindset of a MasterChef.
It's true. You are like, you have such amazing training. Your restaurants are all so delicious. And learning from you as your fellow judge was absolutely delightful. I can't wait for everybody to see it. Now, you have said that MasterChef Canada is all about kind of inspiring home cooks, obviously. So let's inspire everybody at home watching.
Yes.
What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, everybody. All right. So what dish are we making?
So we're gonna make steak Diane. It's a super classic. It's a classic for a reason. And you know, we have these steaks and most people just kind of stop at that point. I'm gonna show you how to take it to that next level.
Okay.
Really easy.
I love that. What are we doing?
So first we're gonna start off with a little bit of salt.
Okay, beautiful.
On our steaks, and you wanna make sure that you cover it like a nice amount of salt on there as well.
This is the thing. I feel like seasoning meat in general, when you're using a thick cut, like a tenderloin, something that's really, really tall, you have to think about the fact that when you're cutting into it, you're not getting a ton of the outside.
Absolutely.
You're mainly getting that internal part.
It's just the surface area, so you wanna get it a little bit more seasoned than you traditionally would.
Totally.
And then we're gonna add a little bit of oil.
Into our pan. Beautiful, beautiful.
1 nice tablespoon.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go with 1 of the tablespoons of the butter.
Dream. This is already delicious. Yeah.
And I like to do oil first
Yeah.
because I feel like it kind of cushions that butter so you don't get all that burning.
Totally.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go in with our steaks.
Okay.
And we wanna make sure that as we get it in there, we just leave it.
Okay.
Leave it be.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
This is the trick. I feel like when I watch my mom or my husband cook, sometimes you want to touch it a bunch. You want to move it around. But every time you move it, it gives a chance for a little bit of moisture, a little bit of steam to get under, which stops that beautiful golden brown.
So true.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna move on to the next step of the dish. You wanna slice some mushrooms?
Yeah. So what is steak Diane? What is it that makes this special?
Steak Diane is one of these classic dishes where you're building the sauce in the pan as well too. So you have all of the flavor that you need going on in here, but we can just accent it a little bit more.
Fantastic.
And the way that we do that is I break it down to these are all the ingredients that are going to give us that meatiness and umami in the dish. And then on this plate over here, you have your accents.
Okay.
So think of this like the foundation, and then you have your accents. So foundation, you're building that meaty flavors. You got the mushroom, umami, you got some shallots, you got some garlic, and say you would have a bit of like fresh thyme. You know, say you were to incorporate some more of those ingredients. But with these ones, this is going to be our mustard, our Worcestershire sauce. Say you wanted to go a little bit Asian, a little soy sauce, a bit of mirin. You know, like these are all flavor ingredients that you can add on. And then this liquid is just at the end, whether it be stock, whether it be milk, whether it be cream, and it just kind of hangs out there and just makes sure that all the ingredients are getting along together like this big party in a pan.
I love this. Well, this party in the pan is going to continue because it smells amazing. Stick with us. We'll be right back. We are back in the kitchen with my fellow Season 8 MasterChef Canada judge, Chef Craig Wong, everybody. Now, we are making steak, Diane, and everything smells so good in here. It's out of control. So before the break, you cooked off those steaks. They're resting. What do we got going on?
So in here, we have shallots, we have garlic, we have mushrooms. It's all those classic ingredients. It's just making everything in here smell fantastic. And so this is what I mean when I'm saying that we built the foundation. Now it's time to have a bit of fun.
Okay.
So it's time to put in some of those accent ingredients that are just going to take this dish to that next level.
Okay, perfect.
So first off, I'm going to start off with a bit of mustard.
Okay. Do you typically use a smooth mustard for this? Do you like a grainy? What's your mustard of choice?
Whatever's in the fridge.
Whatever's in the fridge.
I've even used ballpark in the past as well too. But that's the whole idea. Like what we're doing right now is you can ball out, you can ball out on a budget, however you want to do it.
Totally.
And just use the ingredients that you already have in your fridge as well too.
Fantastic.
So
I love
then I have Worcestershire sauce as well.
Which gives that kind of je ne sais quoi. You know, you put it in and it's not just for your Caesars, everybody.
And then we have a little bit of alcohol. And what's really cool is that alcohol brings the flavors to different areas of your palate that it normally wouldn't reach.
Totally.
So you're gonna add a little bit of that in there. And then we're gonna give a little flame.
Yeah! Always a thrill, always makes me scream. Yeah.
And sometimes people don't want to flame out at home, and you can just let it cool down as well too. But this helps to speed it up a little bit as well too.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to add our cream. And the cream is there to just mellow all of these ingredients together, and it's just going to make everybody play nice. And so it's going to take that mustard, that Worcestershire sauce, and it's going to deglaze all at the same time.
I like how much cream we've used in this episode of this television show today. But it's true, it cooks up and it thickens up so beautifully and so quickly. It looks absolutely stunning. So how do we serve this up?
And I don't waste anything. All of these resting juices, you know, you rest your steak, you have all these beautiful juices at the bottom. That goes right in as well too.
Nice. Yeah, that's the
there
ticket.
we go.
Yeah.
So we're maximum flavor in this dish.
I love that.
All right, so then we put our steaks back inside, and these are just already cooked, and they're cooked like 90% of the way, so we're just gonna finish it off in the sauce as well too.
I love that you finish it in the sauce.
It's one pot.
Yeah.
It's a one-pot meal.
That is fantastic.
Simplicity. They're classics for a reason.
100%.
Yeah.
Whoever Diane was, thank you very much for your steak. We love it so much. This is beautiful. Now, I love this.
Yeah.
We're serving it up with rice.
This is how I eat it at home.
I love that. I feel like my knee jerk, I mean, I love a potato, so I'd be like, okay, but I was like, the rice gives you that, a little bit of texture.
Absolutely. And this is like, this could be a weeknight meal.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a special occasion.
No.
If you want it to be, you can.
Would you always use a filet, or would you?
No, you can use any cut of beef.
Yeah,
you know,
I love
like
that.
This is a fancy one. We can do all different types of steaks. You know, it doesn't have to be the really expensive ones. And to finish it off, just a little bit of fresh parsley.
Little bit of green. Oh my gosh. Listen, everybody, that's how you become a master chef at home. Craig, thank you so much. This was a delight. Season 8 of MasterChef Canada kicks off with a special premiere tonight at 9 p.m. on CTV and streams tomorrow on Crave. That's our show, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. And tonight for MasterChef.